I spent hours trying to learn as much as I could about loot boxes and answer these questions. What are loot boxes? Are they harmful to people? Are loot boxes just a form of gambling in-game? There's a lot of information we need to cover, so without further ado, let's find out. Loot boxes. I bet many of you have already heard this term several times. You might have even opened one. So, what is loot box? Loot boxes are mystery bundles of virtual items related to the video game. They can be won by gamer as a reward or can be purchased with real money. It's filled with certain rewards with certain rarities. Better the item, the smaller chance of getting it. The most famous company associated with loot boxes, EA, earns so much money by using this method. Imagine, you buy a pack in FIFA and you get a chance of getting the one particular item you want with really small chance, or you get the trash items that are useless with much higher chance. Does it sound familiar? It's like slots. But let's look at them from more different angles. Is it just a perfect but unethical monetization method? Or can it be also great gameplay enhancement? The first loot boxes appeared from 2004 to 2007 in the game called Zeng 2 Online and in the Japanese version of MapleStory. It was an extremely successful concept. Within a year, ZT Online earned $50 million. It was just a matter of time when it will appear on the Western video game market. In 2008, loot boxes appeared in the FIFA by Electronic Arts. Loot boxes filled with players from which you can build your FIFA Ultimate Team, and in Team Fortress 2 by Valve via randomized crates that you can unlock with keys which you need to buy for real money. It was instant success. This was a signal to other companies to add them to their games, seeing only easy profit. Loot boxes appeared in Overwatch, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Star Trek Online, and so on. Valve and EA didn't stay behind and they added them to CSGO, Mass Effect 3, Battlefield 4, and so on. After some time, it was added even in the single-player games. Yes, you hear me correctly. Single-player games had loot boxes which you could buy with real money. The games which pioneered this concept are Middle-earth, Shadow of War, and Forza Motorsport 7. Honestly, I'm not even surprised. Loot boxes were extreme success, so it was just a matter of time when all companies tried to implement them. However, the plot twist appeared. Most of these loot boxes offered only cosmetic items, like skins for guns, skins for character, banner, etc. Except for some EA titles. Battlefield 4, FIFA. I think I need to see a doctor. This coughing is unbearable anymore. But even these, let's say, pay-to-win games were nothing compared to what was about to come. EA released Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2017 and it was a huge disaster. Loot boxes were pay-to-win. If you didn't buy them with real money, you almost wouldn't be able to play with iconic characters from Star Wars universe like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. You could get them free to play without any purchases, but it was hard and you needed to grind this game so much. According to the TechSpot, you needed to play 4,528 hours or pay $2,110 to unlock all base game content. These numbers are insane. Unexpectedly, players were not happy about it and EA had problems, not only with the player base, but also with the law. After some time, they changed the loot box system a little bit, but it didn't help as much as they had hoped. EA decided to release game without loot boxes. They released Anthem and Battlefield 5 without them. Also, many companies started to removing them from their games like previously mentioned Middle-earth, Shadow of War and Rocket League. Some because they saw their unpopularity and others because they had to. These were to gradual removal of loot boxes from video game industry. However, in modern video game industry, loot boxes are still being used as a good way to earn revenue. Some examples are FIFA and World of Tanks Blitz. They have stores filled with them. On the other hand, not many games use them nowadays. They found another method to generate money called Battle Pass. It was mostly popularized by Epic Games in Fortnite, and other companies used it after them because they saw a potential in this technique. Battle Pass may be better monetization method than the loot boxes because you see what you will get, and it's not random like loot boxes. I leave it for your judgment. Now, let's go back to the loot boxes and learn why loot boxes obtainable only by in-game purchases with real money are bad. The biggest problem with loot boxes is its addictivity. It's not hard to become addicted to them. When player opens a loot box, his brain releases dopamine, a chemical substance that makes you feel good. Dopamine is not harmful. It is basic brain's tactic to keep us motivated to do things that are keeping human species alive. For example, dopamine is released when you eat, but these common activities like eating, sleeping, or sex are natural. When you do them, you receive natural amount of dopamine. But, for example, when player opens loot box, the level of dopamine will be higher, plus he can do it repeatedly. So the level won't decrease and he'll become addicted. After some time, when he does these activities again and again, the amount of dopamine which he will receive from them will decrease, so he will need to make his dose higher to receive the same amount of dopamine as before. The result is, he will buy more loot boxes. I know, I may be just exaggerating, people may not get addicted to them, but it is easy to fall in this trap. I believe the best prevention against this is the knowledge about the methods that are used to keep players opening loot boxes. One of the strongest methods used to keep players opening loot boxes is FOMO. I did a video about FOMO, so if you are interested, definitely check it out. Link in description. Here is a short summary of it. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. It is widely used psychological technique not only among video game developers but also in marketing. It is basically about that human fear that he is missing something that others don't. For example, loot boxes have various varieties of items in it and you may want to get the best one. You may want to have the best of the best, or you may just want to have it. This won't make you buy a loot box instantly, but the times showing for how long it will stay in the shop have much higher impact. And what is more, when it disappears, the players may not be able to obtain the required item anymore. The best thing to counter this psychological phenomenon is to set your priorities straight and ask yourself if you really need the one particular item from that offer, if it is worthy of your precious time and money. To be honest, I don't think that loot boxes are necessarily bad mechanic in the video game industry. Before you write angry comment like, "What the fuck man, you are talking bullshit, 1 minute you say one thing and the other one you say another, unsubscribing, hear me out." I think the loot box is obtainable only by money and giving paying players unfair advantage in multiplayer games is awful concept and it should have been forgotten a long time ago. But free loot boxes as a reward for playing can be good, because they can enhance gaming experience. For example, killing bosses in single-player game will reward you with some items and loot box, which may contain good or bad items. It's pure luck. You can't buy it or anything like that. It is just a feature that you may obtain sometimes during the gameplay, not the monetization method used to generate millions of dollars for developers. Loot boxes as money-generating method are awful and unethical concept against players. It is just using our psyche to generate money with FOMO and dopamine. However, free loot boxes only obtainable through playing game itself is nice concept and it can enrich the game. It can add the moment of tension. Okay, enough from me, subscribe to my channel or I will personally kick you in the ass.